Consider an athlete that wants to run and probably don't know why he's running or where he's running to, or probably giving ears to the noise of the crowd. And also consider a student preparing for an exam and doesn't even know where to start from and doesn't even know why he's reading. Hello everyone, my name is Victoria Emmanuel and this is Identity Code Podcast. Welcome to episode 3, and today we'll be talking about the power of focus. The power of focus. One main limitation to human capacity or our ability is distraction, and that is the opposite of focus, distraction. We tend to be distracted by maybe the noise of the word, or maybe what people will say, or it could just be anything. Like if we are easily distracted, maybe you wanted to do something and you see someone else doing another thing, then you kind of like shift your focus from what you want to do and say, oh, let me try this thing. I think this one will be more better than what I am already doing, not knowing that you're already close to the finishing line. So distraction. And there are really ways that we can beat distraction and then focus. Focus in this case doesn't mean lack of ability to multitask. Focus is much more bigger than that. It doesn't mean just keep looking at one thing, but rather looking at what you are capable of doing. That's what focus is. What are you capable of doing? How much can you take in? How much can you do? And one way to beat distraction and focus is prioritizing. If we don't know how to prioritize our work or the things we want to do, we tend to lose focus. Priority really matters. What is the most important thing for you to do at this time? Not like other things are not important when it comes to priority, but like what is much more important and what is the most pressing need. How can you learn priority? How can you be focused when you don't even know how to prioritize your ways, the things you want to do, your goals? Priority is very important. Learn how to know what to do and then know when to do that thing. Priority helps in bringing our focus to reality, looking at what we want to do at this moment and then making sure that we are doing it well. Another way to beat distraction is knowing why. In fact, that's the most important way or key in beating distraction. Knowing why. When you don't know why you are doing something, definitely you will be wondering, okay, if it comes true, fine. If it doesn't come true, then it's fine. And we have the good and the bad why. So the bad why might be like a risk. Like if this thing does not happen, I don't know. I will just have to make it happen. The good why is always better, if you ask me, than the bad why. So the good why will be that I need to achieve this thing. For example, maybe you need to have a particular grade to get your dream job or what you really want to do, or you needed to sit for an exam to get a particular degree, or whatever it is that you want to achieve. There is something that you need to do to get there. So the why is your dream, what you want to do. Like, for me to get to this thing, I need to know why. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to achieve this. I'm doing this because I want to get to this level. And the bad why is like, there is a risk attached to not achieving it. And as humans, our mind is very funny because that kind of like works better for us. when we know that there is a risk attached to something, or if we don't achieve this thing, this is what is going to happen to us, or this is what is going to happen to our family. Consider somebody that is being kidnapped, for example. The family will definitely, look for out, and a ransom has been placed on the person. We look for how, no matter how much the money is, even if it's to go and borrow loan, even if it's to beg people, even your enemies, you don't mind if you just beg them and they can give you the money so you can pay for the life of your beloved ones. That's you are trying to get that money. Why? Because you need to save somebody's life, and that's a bad why. So if a risk is not attached to something, sometimes we don't tend to give it our full attention. We don't tend to work earnestly to get it or achieve it, and that's not good enough. The good why is always better than the bad why. Well, if the bad why works for you, then you can create one for yourself. Maybe if you don't achieve this thing, this thing is going to happen. If I don't achieve this, then I end up like this. If I don't pray very well, then I end up getting this result. If I don't do this, then I end up getting this result. So if you create the bad why for yourself, then you see reasons why you need to work harder to achieve your goal. To focus. Remember, we're talking about the power of focus. And to achieve these goals, or to achieve the why, you need to break your task into smaller steps. Nobody can just jump somewhere overnight. You need to break it into smaller steps. For example, let's say a student that wants to graduate first class. You can't just say, I'm going to graduate first class, this is my goal, and then just while away the time, do every other activity that you can see, and really not outlining the steps that you need to follow to actually achieve that. So you need to create smaller steps which will help you to actually achieve that thing that you are looking up to achieve. So create smaller steps, break your task into smaller steps. Okay, maybe for example, I have to read from this time to this time every day. I have to do this and that every day. And also look at those athletes. Some of them train every day just to get to where they are today. So nobody just achieves success overnight. You have to break. That's your dream, what you want to achieve. There has to be steps at which you can achieve it. So remember to break your task into smaller steps. Also, create a positive environment for yourself. Sometimes people might not create a positive environment for you. You will be the one to create that positive environment for yourself, and it's fine, because nobody really wants to do things that do not favor them sometimes. So if people are not saying good about you, or maybe people are saying, look at what's she even doing? Who is even listening to this one? And create a positive environment for yourself. You know why you are doing it, and that's why I said there has to be a why for you to focus. There has to be a why. So you know why you are doing it. So they don't know, and that's why they can always say whatever they want to do. They can always say whatever they want to say. So create that positive environment for yourself. Or imagine all the celebrities, people talk bad about them, people say all sorts of things about them. The online space is a mess sometimes, but they continue with their life. They don't. Some of them, even if they read those state comments or hear what people say, they still dust it off and move on with their life, because it is their life and not the other way around. So create that positive environment for yourself. Know that people will definitely say one thing or the other. People can say one, what's he doing, or what's this one, or it doesn't even make sense. They might just say all sorts of things, but you are the one that will create that, and that's the power of focus. You create that positive environment for yourself and work in it. I remember one time I wasn't really focused. I was just looking at maybe achieving a lot of things at the same time. Remember I said earlier that not focusing does not mean not multitasking. They are not synonymous. They are two different things. But looking at what you can do at a focusing on how many things you can do at a time. So I was basically looking at so many things, wanting to be like this, wanting to be like this, wanting to do this, wanting to do that. There's this thing I can do, there is that thing I can do. And that made my focus short span. I couldn't really achieve a lot because there were a lot of things and it's actually affecting my focus. So one thing I want you to know is that no matter how many things you can do, learn to prioritize your task. Like I said, know why you are doing this thing at this time and know when to stop with a particular task and move on to the next one. And finally, one important thing you should know is that the most important key in developing focus is meditation and prayer. Don't forget the place of meditation and prayer. This breeds more ways to actually achieve that in which you want to achieve. It gives you innovation on how to go about what you want to do, and quite a lot of things you gain when you meditate and when you pray. I hope this episode has blessed you. Once again, I'm Victoria Emmanuel, and I'm your host on Identity